Welcome to Writing the Thing, the podcast where I, Shaun Kitchener, chat to writers about the writing of their things. Today, I've got a proper creative octopus. He's an actor, writer, producer, director, fundraiser. He does it all. It's the brilliant Paul Bradshaw. Right, so Paul's play Tell Me Straight first ran at the King's Head Theatre as part of their queer season back in the summer of 2021. And fun fact, side note, it was supposed to be in a sort of overlapping tandem situation with one of my plays. Like it was going to be a 2 shows in one night sort of thing. But mine had to stop its run early because of a COVID case. So they never got to share the stage. But anyway, Tell Me Straight has gone on to have an incredible life, an incredible critically acclaimed, nominations here, awards there, massive success. Most recently, it was on at the Park Theatre as a double bill with another of Paul's plays, which is called Aggy. And now both pieces are returning to the King's Head, which of course is now in a new upgraded building altogether, later this year. So Tell Me Straight, in which Paul also acts, is about a man referred to as him, who is persuaded to go on a 30-day sort of dick detox because all of his hookups are ostensibly straight. It's described in official materials as a fast-paced, semi-autobiographical coming of adulthood play. Can't wait to see that one. Aggy, which I have already seen and is fantastic, is co-directed by Paul alongside Imogen Francis, and it's about an artist who creates an alter ego to try and secure more opportunities for himself. And without giving too much away, that alter ego involves adopting and fabricating certain traits and characteristics about himself that may not be properly authentic. I chatted to him about both plays, his experience of doing the Criterion New Writing group with Greg Moss and Felix Moss, which we've both been through, and how that forms such a big part of his writing journey. We talked about how he has worked his arse off on the production and fundraising side, which is so incredible, and loads more too. But we started off by talking about how Tell Me Straight first came to fruition.
I was an actor, am an actor. When I first started to write, I didn't want to do that actory thing of going, I'm going to write the play that I'm going to be in. And so learned how to write on several other things. Yeah. And then COVID happened and suddenly we had all this time and we were all, I don't know, introspective.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, everyone keeps saying that I should write something that I could be in. I have all these stories. Let me try.
Yeah.
And in the space of like 3 weeks, maybe, I just free wrote. And it was,
oh, great.
40 pages of stories, scenes, anecdotes.
Yeah.
And then I started to work with Imogen Francis, who's been the director since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we worked on like how we could make it more theatrical. And so from the get-go, we were thinking about how it would be on stage rather than just what the words would be.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that all happened over COVID with Zoom readings. Yeah. And then when we could, on my friend's roof of his like apartment block, we went and sat in the sun and just social distanced and read it just to be like, I'm sick of Zoom. And it was very, very grassroots vibe. But I'm kind of proud to say that because I think the development was about 9 months and because there was no pressure of a venue or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that in those 9 months, we really figured out exactly what the play was.
Oh,
and
great.
Kind of since then, yes, obviously this is the 4th time we're doing it.
Yeah.
And it has changed, but the biggest things that's changed every time is the venue layout.
Oh, okay.
Every single time it's been a different layout.
Yeah.
So it has to become a new piece of theatre.
Right.
From a technical perspective and then also a performance perspective because there's lots of direct address and all of that stuff. It is ever evolving, but yeah, the idea was based on my own experiences and imagined that they would have happened over the course of 30 days so that,
Okay.
you know, things really implode.
Oh,
But yeah, it's cool. He's called him
yeah.
because he doesn't feel like me anymore.
Okay.
You know, it feels like stepping into an old pair of shoes rather
Yeah.
than playing myself, which
Okay.
is really nice to like,
Yeah.
and also safer.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? To like,
Yeah, definitely.
here's my trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a part of making self, inspired work. It doesn't feel like that anymore, which is really
Right.
nice.
Well, I was going to say, how has that felt in like in terms of like things in like in the rehearsal room, let alone on stage, like when you're doing something that is, even if it's not autobiographical event for event, it is sort of drawing on your kind of stuff. How did that feel in the rehearsal room? Was it quite nerve wracking getting to grips with that? How easy did you find it to just be like, okay, we're in show mode, off we go?
I honestly think it is up and down. Some days when we did the latest run, it was the first time we'd had a new actor. So I was really I felt like I was really taking care of his process as well as my own because, so much chemistry, it all relies on our chemistry, the whole
Yeah.
play. And so often we would just be like, let's just skip my monologue. And then it
Okay.
got to week 4 of rehearsals, and I was like, I don't feel like I've said these words. Like we should. And
Yeah.
so then, it's the logistics of what it means to be in the room. And yeah, sometimes it's like, even though it's my story, really the other characters have just as strong, more important arcs sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can make sure that whoever's playing that role feels seen, held, etc.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's always like the co-producer part of my brain is like, this bit isn't about me, even though it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it is, but it's yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's a really interesting thing, and
Yeah.
we just did a workshop for another one of my plays, and we were rehearsing around the corner from the pub that I worked in, where like two of the stories are inspired from in the
Oh
film.
wow.
And so Imogen, who has known me since then, was like, "Is it weird to be back?" Yeah, kind of. And then they went, "But you've been back a lot because of the show." And I was
You've been
like,
back.
wow, so profound.
Yeah. Oh
But
wow.
but I hadn't. I
Yeah.
hadn't
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stepped foot in the pub for 12 years. Really, a really odd thing. And I think that has happened when I am retelling these stories, when I have gone back to those old haunts. It's a bit
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
uh,
Right. Am I right in thinking that Tell Me Straight was its first or one of its first outings was at the last King's Head?
yeah. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow! So it's like a homecoming, but also it's round the corner in a new, in a new place.
And that was why, so Zoe, who's now the producer there,
Yeah.
she reached out to us in our last week of the run at the park
Yeah.
saying great things. She hadn't seen either of the plays, but had seen stuff online and was
Yeah.
like, let's discuss a homecoming for Tell Me Straight from a PR perspective. The next play, the packaged
Yes. Yes.
thing with, or whatever we're calling it,
Right.
it's this feeling of like, we started with famously 2 chairs and a coat rack.
Right.
And we still have 2 chairs and a coat rack.
Yeah.
But now the Aggie set, the Tell Me Straight set conceals the Aggie set. When you watch both and you come back in and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is a whole new auditorium. Then you start to go, oh no, you can see that the panel's been removed. And, it's that thing of like, it was really intentional to have both plays built within each other.
Okay.
And
Okay.
now we get to do both again in this
Yes.
big swanky space. And
Oh wow!
we were playing on top of your set.
I was just thinking, was this summer 2021? And when we got COVIDed off.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And for us, obviously, terrible time, and we were really anxious about being COVIDed off as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were the last week of the queer season, which was
Right.
you guys weren't on. We then had, they were like, you can have loads of tech time if you need to
Amazing.
change. For us, it went from being like, you have a 2-hour tech slot to having a whole day of tech.
Yeah.
which,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is fun.
Yeah.
But it was we just kind of were like, here is what the set is, here is what the seating plan is. And so therefore we went, right, let's just use 2 chairs and a
Yeah.
curtain
Yeah. Oh
So-
gosh, amazing.
to be more intentional, but also keep that fringy feel, in the same way that Fleabag just has the chair. sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the audience will go with you, won't they? Like you tell them this is that, they'll be like, okay, that's that. Okay, fine.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing about Fringe theatre because
Oh God, yeah, definitely.
it's exciting to go back. A bit nervy, like
Yeah, yeah.
how exciting.
Yeah, it is so exciting. And Aggie, as I said, I saw Aggie and I freaking loved it. I don't remember how it came on my radar. I think I just saw loads of buzz for it on social media and like so clever and such interesting territory in which to like set a story and stuff. What inspired that story? It's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so many things. The original idea came between the first and second attempt straight. I was at be at one, overheard a conversation, and it just kind of planted the seed in me around like deception and masking and people pretending to be something they're not. For me, like I grew up on a council estate in central London, but
Mhm.
I found like the establishment because of drama school.
Right.
And so for me, if I were to talk how I talked when I was on my estate, it wouldn't feel authentic to me now
Okay.
because I don't feel like that anymore. But I think class and other elements of identity, people do cosplay. Famously, it's a phrase that I say, and maybe I can say it, but like poving up,
Right.
like, oh, if I seem oppressed, then it will make my struggle feel as though I've overcome more. I think in the arts, it's prevalent. I think it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's always been something that I've been curious about, like the way that we adopt and adapt our personalities.
Yeah.
And so it's a knotty play because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
kind of does that on like 5 levels through the relationship of an interracial cross-class couple. I think there were some reviews that were like, whoa, it feels like a massive themes, and others that were like, yeah, but they also were just two humans that
Right.
existed in a space. And for me, I'm like, I didn't really want to make a political piece of theatre. I wanted to make something that felt now, and something existing now with all of those themes is going to be inherently political just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you have people trying to figure out who they are. The inspiration, yes, something overheard, but then also for the many, many redrafts working with, I think we had like 6 table reads over the course of
Oh,
4.
great.
It was very, with like focus groups, and it was always just the most diverse room where people
Yeah.
would freely share their opinions, experiences, etc. And it was an amazing process. We actually had offers of programming 2 or 3 times in that process.
Right.
We were a bit like, no, let's wait, because we knew we wanted a fancier set.
Oh,
Concrete.
great.
We were
Yeah.
like, we want it to be bells and whistles. It can't be,
Yeah.
tell me straight. And so, yeah, it took the time that it was supposed to take to develop,
Yeah.
and also for the money and the investment and the
Yeah.
revenue, and then the double bill element of it to coincide. Yeah, it was a long process of constant discovery
Yeah.
around, I guess, how to sensitively tell a story around about all of these different things. And I think we did it well.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
about your home play, I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah.
I think we did it well, and I think a lot of people came away from it going, I think I need a minute to decompress, and then I'll send you a voice note, and then
Yes. Oh, it's so that type of play. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
obsessed with that as the response. I don't know if you watched the Biffa winning, I think.
Oh, oh
Oh,
God, is that the one with the guy in it?
it does have a guy in it, yeah. George Mackay, and
Yes, him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I think his name's Daniel, who was in Importance of Being an Artist in Town. It is in no way the inspiration, because I'd already written the play, but when I watched that, I was like, oh, this really cleverly examines a whole other part of masculinity, femininity, uh again, the masks we wear. And I was like, oh, it feels like femme on stage
Yeah. Okay.
without the violence, because
Yeah. Yeah. Just with
but
less.
the violence is witty.
Yeah. Yeah. Intellectual.
Words.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
words.
I just love seeing that kind of thing where it's like characters that you feel like you can, like, really gettable characters that you're like, I know these people to some extent, we are these people, and then you see them do things that you're like, oh, I don't know if you should be doing that, but you totally get why they're doing it, but you're like, oh no, don't, but they keep doing it, and then like what happens when they do, and who are they accountable to, and what does that look like, and that kind of stuff. It gets into so much great
Yeah.
stuff. It's so rewarding as an audience member to watch stuff like that.
Thank you, thank you. And I mean, like the speech where Lawrence, I, there is a speech that Lawrence gives. I was about to give a spoiler. um, he says about holding up a mirror and reflecting and seeing and being seen, and I think
Yeah.
that is what we wanted the play to be. We wanted
Okay, yeah.
a moment of how are we all involved in these many, many layers around identity and how people, judge. It's big stuff, but hopefully disarming because it doesn't get to the big stuff straight away. But yeah, may if you come back, maybe you can have another moment of like, I see
Yeah.
where the seeds were being planted.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's so interesting. It sounds really like a really rewarding, lengthy and rewarding development process. Do you enjoy that side of things? Because I feel like when it comes to developing stuff, I'm really bad sometimes at, like, I guess, holding my nerve and not like being like, oh, it's been X amount of time, it's not ready yet, it's obviously shit, let's move on to something else. Whereas like you have to like actually putting in the time and like investing your time and your energy into making something the best it can be. It must be so rewarding. Do you enjoy that part of the process, like the getting people together and figuring it out?
Yeah, I mean, well, my introduction to writing was through the Criterion New Writing course.
Oh yes.
Oh, right. Did you do
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So I was an actor on it originally because training in musical theatre, you especially at that time, 2014, I graduated. There's no real encouragement of trying to get involved in new writing because
Okay.
you will be in Les Mis.
Yeah.
And so when I was asked to do that, and I did it for about 2 years before I picked up the pen.
Yeah.
And because everything was so communal and the way in which people discuss their ideas, there was no ego, and
Yeah.
it was actors could have a good point and other writers could help fix your problem.
Yeah.
That has kind of been how I've developed everything. I don't have this chain to the desk mentality. Like,
Right.
the sooner I can get in a room with people, the better.
Yeah.
And like quite often I'll write something like I've written a TV show with my friend and it's dystopian and it's a 300 million pound budget type show.
Right.
And I know that can't be made now, but I know that it's solid because we've done 2 table reads.
Yeah.
And when it is ready to pitch, I know the ins and outs of that project because of those years of development.
Yeah.
It's about, I think for me, I don't know whether that's from the musical theatre background training. You're in for the same shows every year, you might not get it, you're back in the next year. It's this like it will happen mentality.
Okay.
And I think that I've kind of adopted that into writing as well. And I love sharing ideas. I love hearing other people's ideas, and the development element of it is joyful. And yes, a little bit you feel like you're being judged. Like I had a dramaturgical session yesterday, and I said to my friend, I was like, I'm so grateful that you picked up what I put down. So often you get notes on a script and you're like, oh, you missed it. It's nice to, I don't know, feel seen and heard. And I don't know whether that's because I picked the dramaturg that I know would like what.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, but someone that would get what you're trying to, where you're going. Yeah.
It's like I'm just creating an echo chamber for myself. But I think, there's the table reads, the scratch nights, the bringing people together. I think it's a crucial part of developing that many writers don't get to have because they are writers as opposed to trained as actors who are writers. So I have hundreds of actor friends who would love to get together and read a script. So for me,
it's such a blessing, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah, so many people I went to uni with, I did drama at uni, and then people went off to actor, postgrad actor training, and then they met a community of actors, and then meanwhile, we're all meeting different people, and then we're trying to make it happen, and we just got this massive network of like a group of actors, group of writers, group of directors, just like let's have a go. Like it's so invaluable. Like
It's
having
amazing.
that network of people is amazing, and that the Criterion, I think, was one of my first experiences in theatre of being around a table with people, throwing ideas around and having that nice little network stuff. And it's such a game changer, isn't it? It's so lovely.
Yeah.
So that was fab. So you did the Criterion as an actor, and then did you go through it writerly wise as well? Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
the first thing I wrote was after Grenfell. And it's actually we're about to do a showcase of it again.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was inspired by Grenfell. It took me a year to actually write it. I wrote like 4 scenes, and James Graham was looking for 8 writers for like a collaborative thing called sketching pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And it was like a modern take on Dickensian London, Tale of Two Cities. I grew up on an estate surrounded by all this wealth in West London, and I was like, it literally is two cities.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I had this idea, and I wrote these 3 scenes and subbed it, and out of 800 writers, I was in the top 25.
Oh, fab.
Out of 25, 8 were picked. So I was like, it was a 1 in 3 chance. And I remember telling Greg that had happened. And he was
Yeah.
like, why didn't you tell me you were writing? I was like, I don't know. That everyone else is a proper writer. I'm here just to read people's stuff. And then he made me announce it in front of everyone. There were people there who had also subbed who hadn't been shortlisted. And obviously it doesn't mean that they weren't good writers or whatever. But it was a real moment of me being like, oh, wow, like you do just have to back yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is a huge thing that happened.
Yeah.
So then I was like by far one of the most inexperienced writers that I'd ever done that course. And he was like, make sure you submit. The next year I did it. It was fantastic. Like it was a real moment to learn. It was also the time that I was like very busy as an actor. So I
Right.
have a massive amount of time to redraft. Still in being in the room, I was still like, oh, okay, I'm getting what this process is. And then we did a script in hand showcase of it pre-COVID, producers, venues, lots of interest. And
Yeah, yeah.
COVID. So now we get to redo it. And
Yes.
yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I saw you posted about like doing so many amazing things with this thing as well. Like you've opened up the door for some early career theatre makers to do some shadowing. Is that right? Like that's so cool. This is such a stupid leading question, but is that important to you? Like, no, I hate them all. Go away, leave me alone. But it's such a nice thing to do.
No, I mean, listen, like you said before, we all have these huge networks, and because we got Arts Council funding for it, it's like, part of the Arts Council is that you have to be shown and seen to be given back. But for me, genuinely, without Greg saying you should do this, or without my friend saying, oh, you'd be great for this reading thing at the Criterion, or whatever it is, you get these intros and your career builds. And the response to that has been obviously incredible. There are so many people who want to get into the room, and God knows how we're going to choose them. But it's been amazing. But we're also running a workshop, which is basically what we've been discussing. So we're bringing together 10 writers at different stages of their career.
Mm-hmm.
In the 20 minutes that each of them have throughout the day, they'll pitch their show, and then as a group we'll have 10 minutes to feedback on what we think, what it reminds us of, what they could read, what they could watch, or is it a farce, is it a two-hander, is it multi-rolling, is it whatever, just like hopefully things that will give advice to A, and then Jay in the corner is going, oh my God, I'm going to steal that too. And
right.
And it's hopefully going to be, a way of building community and not making writing feel so isolating.
Yeah.
And I think, I think when people deliver workshops and they're really passionate about it, they can be really useful. But I've always found it a bit odd. Like people are like, oh, you should do that. You should charge people. And it's just never sat right with me. I mean, time you might be like, oh my God, I need the money, whatever.
Yeah.
But if we can and we can bake it into projects, then I'm kind of like, why wouldn't we? And then we're getting people who are interested in making, doing, being there, building their own communities. I don't know. I think it's part of the ecosystem.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Definitely.
New talent, and there aren't as many scratch nights as when I first started writing.
No.
And I think we definitely, I can see them popping up again now. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I feel like that's the next wave of, we're just going to come back full circle, like a 10-year thing. I think it's important to like bring people together. We can do that. And shadowing the same thing,
Mm.
we've got a week to mount the reading.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much the shadowers will actually get out of it. Hopefully they're just being present and,
Absolutely.
enough. But
Yeah.
I am also a bit like, I want to make sure you're learning, but the priority is the play. So it's dual brain thing going on.
Oh
But
God, definitely just being there is amazing. I remember when I first I did a summer internship at the Fimbra in like 40 BC or whenever it was, like ages ago. And I was like stage manager of a reading. I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there with the script. But just being there was just so, I guess, validating in a way. And just really affirming, maybe is the word. Like, so it's so cool to have people who are on that. So cool. And Arts Council funded. Congratulations.
yeah, that's an ordeal in itself. I don't know, but it took us 10 rounds to get it.
Oh,
10
not
rounds.
10 rounds. Not
Yeah,
10 rounds.
it was crazy. And between the ninth and the 10th round, I wrote 1,000 letters to generous folks in theatre, basically telling them about what this process with the Arts Council had been.
Yeah.
And so we ended up raising just under a third of what the budget was. I always say we, but it was definitely just me.
Yeah,
But
I do that all the time as well.
yeah, but I ended up raising a third of what we were asking for them. And so when we went back and I said, listen, I've done everything that you've asked me to do
Yeah.
and also gone above and beyond, please. And then they said yes. But yeah, that was a 3-year ordeal. Arts Council rejection.
Yeah, but amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're very which is what I tried to be, and I feel like I've lost it in the last few years, but very like proactive. Like I have to, like as you said earlier, you got to like back yourself almost and be like, we're making this happen, god damn it. Like it must be exhausting but also rewarding but also necessary, but at the end of the day fun. I don't know, is that anyway?
All of those things.
Yeah.
Like it really is. And I think that I'm looking forward to, and I am building the teams now where I'm not all of those things, which is exciting. And it's Lawrence says it in the play. It's, they'll only want you when you're on the boil or something. I can't remember what quote. When one person wants you, everyone does.
Okay.
And it's like, when we were raising for Tell Me Straight and Aggie last time, we got the money we needed, but it was very skin of our teeth.
Right.
Where now it's intros, recommendations, it's I feel like within those 6 months, or probably about a year, because we started to raise last year, things have shifted. And I'm not saying that I'm like about to open a play in the West End, but I think it's definitely a feeling of, oh, this is what it's like when you aren't having to try and knock down doors or carve a little hole to squeeze through. It was the King's Head emailing us. It was, it feels like it's shifting slightly. I mean, I'm still very welcome and open for it to continue to shift. It's definitely moving a little bit, which is nice. It's a shift because, I have been for so often the driving force, the fundraiser, the writer, the mediator, and it has been exhausting. And I think there have been many, many days where I just like crash out and I have to just like do nothing.
Of course, yeah.
Body is just like, don't try it, Paul. And yeah, lots of friends being like, are you okay? And I'm like, please leave me alone.
Don't talk to me.
I love you, but no.
Well, no, it's great though. It feels like the ball is rolling. We're alive. Things are happening. It's so exciting.
Yes.
That's so cool. Just finally then, thank you so much for that. That's so cool. But what was the last thing that you saw on stage, screen, wherever, that you were like, god damn, that's good?
Oh my God. Did you see Mass at the Don Mar?
No, I wanted to, but I missed it.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
That genuinely was incredible. And I also saw Care the week before.
Oh yeah, that looks amazing as well.
Like I think that we're having a little moment of theater that is like that, where it's just so
Yeah.
sparse and so human.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know what Mass is about or saw the film, but it's
Yeah, I read about it, and I had it on my like list, and then the time just went. But yeah,
sold out like that, didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
sorry, but I got a freebie through a
Amazing.
friend. So I'm like, it was a tube strike day, and he was
Right.
like, it's cancelled, and I was like, say less, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But it was in a time where, like, we're desperate. Everyone is trying to figure out how to get people's attention.
Yeah.
It was like a perfect example of how less is more in that. It
Really.
was two families meeting to discuss the fact that one of the family's children had shot the other child in a mass shooting. And for about half an hour, you don't know who's
Mm.
killed the other. It's just so and also you kind of don't really know that that's what it's about. They're also meeting in like a church community room, and so mass being mass shoot.
Ah.
It's kind of like just
Oh,
take
great.
take the awards.
Yeah.
It was astounding, and the cast were amazing. I think it's genuinely the best acting I've seen this year.
Oh, great.
It was amazing. It was so good.
Amazing.
Um, Hopefully it comes back
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
was fantastic. What about you? What's the best thing you've seen?
Oh God. I saw. What have I seen? I think okay. I think looking back over this year so far, what really sticks out is Guess How Much I Love You at the Royal Court, which was about this couple who fell pregnant, and then they found out that there was a risk, like the baby was at a serious health risk, and they had to make a decision on what they were going to do. And then you see that all play out, and it's just like, again, it's like it doesn't explicitly tell you what's happening at any point. The dialogue just goes how it goes, and then you're like, oh God, you just piece it together. And there's one moment in particular where you realize that something has happened, and the way it's delivered is so almost, it doesn't hammer you around the face at all. It just happens, and you're like, oh God, what?
I wish I'd seen that. I wish I'd seen that because I'd heard nothing but great things about it. It was
Yeah.
big regret.
That was great. What you're saying about Mass as well, having a great title. I freaking suck at titles. You've really got the whole like, tell me straight. What a great, even after not having seen it, just reading the synopsis, I'm like, that's a great title. That's a great title.
But Aggie has confused everyone. There was a reviewer that came in and was like, "What's Aggie? What does that mean?" And
Right.
someone said, "Oh, it means like when you're just like constantly negging each other and arguing a little
Yeah.
bit." It's like, well, I guess it was about that. And I so, oh, I don't know what to say. Because of it, I don't know this man, but apparently he was a bit older, and so therefore is probably thinking, "Oh, I've been left behind with vocabulary." But for me, I'm kind of like, isn't that the joy of being a human? That isn't for me, and I don't get it. But I'm going to lean in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Aggie. I was really scared that people would think it would be a woman's name, so I made sure that it was a
Him
lower.
and yes, of course. Oh, it didn't even occur
And
to me.
yeah, and then Tell Me Straight also just became lowercase because it just looked cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aggie.
Come on, Ariana Grande. Give me those lowercase titles.
Yeah, it's the brand. It's the
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love a good name. I do love a
Yeah.
good name.
No, I suck at names. But anyway, that's. Thanks, Paul, for chatting. It's really lovely and interesting to get so many like pearls of wisdom from someone who is genuinely doing it all. It's so impressive and amazing. So, Tell Me Straight and Aggie are playing at the King's Head Theatre in Islington from October the 15th to November the 14th, 2026. Tickets are on sale now. And Paul's Play Two Cities is having an industry reading at the Criterion Theatre on Friday, the 31st of July. Okay, I'll just do my little recommendations bit again. So, my first one, oh my God, my favorite TV show of the decade is back finally for its new series. Not enough people know about this show. It's so good. It's called Trying. It is on Apple TV. The first 3 seasons, I think, are available to watch on iPlayer. So if that's, if you need to go to iPlayer to start it off, then do. But it's just started season 5 on Apple, and it's so good. It's this sort of British comedy, but it's like a dramedy. It's like a half-hour sort of makes you laugh, makes you cry kind of situation. The first series is about this couple who've been trying to start a family for a while. and then they decide to go down the adoption route. And Imelda Staunton is their social worker, which is just genius. She's so funny. And Sean Brooke from Blue Lights has got a supporting role. Very different character. It's really, really good. The acting's great. The writing by Andy Wilton is really, really cool. Season 4 ended on a massive cliffhanger. And our season 5 is finally here, and it's 2 episodes in, and it's great. And I've just seen the trailer for the rest of the series, and there's Celia Imrie is imminent. So I can't wait to see how that plays out. My other one, I finally seen the film The Drama, which I'm sure loads of you have already seen, written by Christopher Borgley. It's so basically Robert Pattinson and Zendaya play this couple who head over heels in love. They're about to get married, blah, 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 blah. And in the run-up to their wedding, they have like a dinner with their best friends. I think it's their best friends. And as a little fun game, they go around the table and say the worst thing they've ever done. And Zendaya's thing is so wild that the rest of the film is basically everybody, especially Robert Pattinson's character, but everybody being like, what? And just trying to like figure out what the hell to do about this wild bomb that she's just dropped. If you go into it not knowing what the thing is, as I didn't, it's just really like, pardon? And it's done really well, though. It's explored really well and played really brilliantly, written really fantastically. And yeah, I've seen it described as a rom-com. Now, rom-com is my favorite genre, but I don't know if we're classing this as a rom-com, even though it is about a relationship and it is often quite funny. But yeah, anyway, it's done that thing where it's when a film goes onto like digital retailers just after it's been in the cinema and it's like 20 quid, then you leave it a couple of months, then it's down to a £5. It's currently a £5 to rent, which is why we've seen it, and it's really good, so I'd recommend checking it out. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Writing the Thing. Thank you to Paul, and I'll see you next time with another fantastic writer.